Thank you, Sophia. Sophia, thank you. Good evening. I want to thank Dr. Vindi for inviting me to be here with you this evening. And I'm sharing the stage with a lot of young people here. Your future leaders. Come the 4th of September. After you vote, of course. You know, our president, Dr. Mohammed Ifanali, sent all his love to you. Our vice president and general secretary of the PPP sent his love to you. And as your prime minister for 5 years, and for 5 more years, I'm here to share the love with you. Comrades, we came a far way together, and we gotta stick together. In unity, there is strength. And you hear me talk about one Guyana, one people, one nation, one destiny, one Guyana. And that is what the PPPC is all about. Bringing development to the people of Guyana, all the people of Guyana, in every community in Guyana. And I'm happy to be here this evening and to hear about all the developments in your community. You know, I can go back in history. I joined the GDF in December 1980. And around 1987, as a young captain, 87, 88, we heard about this whole area opening up for, you know, occupation by people. And many of us, after work in the afternoon, and very early in the morning, after flag raising, we came in here. And some people put down stakes with their names. And then you had some people come the next day and remove your stake, right? So you had that. And then eventually a set of people came and start occupying land. You call them squatters, right? And many of them were women, right? Women came in with their families and they built a nice little house, or if you call it a shack or whatever, and they occupied the land, and they went and made representation to the PNC government. And what happened? They break it down. And many times the police came in and raided people out and trying to get people out. They had a plan for you. They didn't want you to occupy this land. And then we had something big, something earth-shaking happen in 1992. You know what it is? The PPPC won the election and democracy returned to Guyana. And that is when the real changes started to happen here in Sophia. Because it's the PPPC sending a team to listen to you. You remember? Some of you may be young, and some of you are around my age group. This lady here knows what I'm talking about. The team came in here. Fireball, Philomena Sahai and team came in here. And they walked this length and breadth of this whole place like Dr. Vindi did recently, up to yesterday. Walking the length and breadth. And they listened to the people here. And then they start the regularization. The roads came in, remember? They weren't proper roads, but they mark out a roadway. You could have drive in and bring in your building material. Right? Truck could have come in. Then the water came in. The electricity came in. And we ain't had island gas yet. We ain't had island gas. Whatever little revenue we got from the rice, the sugar, the gold, we ensure that we use it to bring development to all the people of Guyana, including the people of Sophia. And I'm happy to be here this evening and hear that all the roads, well, we got a few still to be done. Because I still have people who will text me and tell me my road needs attention. Right? But essentially, We did all the main roads and many of the secondary roads. There are a few still to be done, and we will get it done. You have water treatment plant. You have schools, and somebody mentioned 5 years, they ain't built one secondary school. Right? In 5 years, 2020 to 2025, 5 years where we had to contend with COVID for 2 years, we built 6 to 7 nursery schools throughout the length and breadth of Guyana. We built 4 to 5 primary schools throughout the length and breadth of Guyana. And we built 42 secondary schools throughout the length and breadth of Guyana. That is what we did as a government. We trained thousands of teachers. Today we could proudly say on the coast, 98% of the teachers in our school system are trained teachers. And we're doing the same thing for the hinterland, training the teachers. That is what we did as a government. School feeding program. We put in place, we had it before, you have it now. And we've committed to expanding it and extending it because we believe that every child must have a proper nutrition as they pursue their education in school. That is what we did. We also did more than that. Today, if you're writing CXC in Sophia, 8 subjects, we pay for 8 subjects. You don't have to pay for it. And this year, if you've already paid, you take the receipt and you get a refund. This is what our government did for you. Right? You get back your money. In terms of health, 12 new hospitals. Every region in Guyana will have a regional hospital, a brand new hospital. And then we have health centers that are being done over. Right? We're rebuilding health centers. We're modernizing existing health centers. And all these things happen over the last 5 years. You heard about the electricity. There's another thing. So if I didn't have electricity, they used to thief light, but now you got electricity and it's gonna get cheaper. Because we got a gas to energy project, and come next year, when we finish building out the gas to energy project, whatever you paying for in electricity on the coastline, it will be half of that. Our president made that promise, and we will deliver on that promise. Because we are a government, when we go to election, we don't go with bare hands. We prepare a manifesto. And we don't sit in our office and prepare the manifesto. We come out and we consult with the people. Dr. Vindi and many ministers walk through all the communities like this throughout the length and breadth of Guyana. They met with the business people. They met with the public servants. Right? They met with the farmers, the fisher folk. They got all the information and they put together a manifesto. We went to 2020 election with a manifesto that talks about on the road to prosperity, right? Prosperity for all, right? And you shared in the prosperity. And that's why you're here this evening, to show the rest of people of Sophia that you're thankful. You benefited from 5 years of economic growth, 5 years of self-development, right? 5 years of empowerment, which was led by Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali and his government. And we heard of the Proper Win program by Dr. Vindi in your community. That is the only win that you need to support. Any other win, you know what you need to do? Just pass it. Just pass it. Don't support it. Because we have to protect Guyana. We have to protect this development trajectory that we're on. We can't go back. We can't go down. We got to keep the focus. And anybody who is trying to derail the development of Guyana, we have a collective responsibility of pushing that partner aside or getting them on board. See, if they want to come to join us, if they want to join the Red Tsunami, we will welcome them. Or if they want to stay on the side, they could stay on the side. And they will have to be confined to the dustbins of history. Because what we are doing, we are building a future collectively. So that when we get old, we could relax and look back and see and talk about our achievement. And we can be proud of our children because we're securing our children's future. When we decided in 2014 to give the $10,000 because we care, it was all about securing a future for Guyana, ensuring that we can help parents to ensure that the children go to school and remain in school. The APNU, and many people in your community would have voted for them too. They formed the government in 2015 to 2020 and they stopped it. They stopped development in Guyana. They stopped a project and a program that was geared towards assuring your children's future. We got into office and we restarted it. Remember, this is the people that lost the election and they held on to power. The whole world who believed in democracy came together and applied the pressure and they had to bow. And then GCOM came clean and in keeping with the laws of Guyana, declared the rightful winners. The PPPC won the elections in 2020, but we had to spend 5 months before we formed the government. We had to deal with COVID, right? Remember the Bella Hospital out there? The Bella Hospital, and they put a sign mark, infectious disease hospital. And they want to establish some legacy. So they had Mr. Granger, the same cardboard brigadier. I don't want to keep the name now because he in the runnings now. I can talk about the other guy in the runnings just now. He went there with his Minister of Health, Minister Valda, and they cut the ribbon and they had fancy speeches. And then the people, the media asked for a conducted tour of the facility. And they said, no, you cannot go past this point. So they had photographs of an infectious disease hospital, but nobody could have used it. The only time they could have used it is after we formed the government and we put in the oxygen, we put in the beds, we put in all the equipment, we put the doctors and the nurses, and we operationalized it and we started to accept patients and saving lives. That is a facility that saved lives because of the PPPC government, because of the visionary leadership of Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali. And you heard Dr. Vinny said earlier, he don't believe in shortly and soon. He believes in doing things immediately. And because of his direction, we were able to operationalize that hospital. And the same attitude we use throughout the length and breadth of Guyana. And that's why we have the roads in your community. That's why we have the street lights, the water treatment plant, the lights on the play field, and the whole playground on over. I was driving here tonight and the security was telling me, look, children playing on the field. Wonderful sight. I have seen that in Trinidad some 20 years ago. And I marvel when I saw it and I say, you know, we need that in Guyana. It is happening today in Guyana. We have the fields with the lights. And the children, the young people are playing there. They're having the exercise, the recreation, they're honing the skills. And that is what will lead to the future Olympians that we all yearn for in Guyana. So we are on the right track as a people. The chairman mentioned about Buxton. And I can tell you a story about Buxton. A couple days before we went into Buxton, we had a flyer and we announced that we going into Buxton. And the guys, the Nigel, what's his name? What's Hines' name? I forget his name. David Hines, right? Kidaki Amsterdam and some others. They said when they come to Buxton, we can chase them out and tell the people to chase us out. We had one big tent in Buxton, and the tent couldn't hold everybody in Buxton. We went in, typical PPPC matter, typical PPPC approach. We went in, we sat down, we introduced ourselves, we made some statements, we listened to the people, and we captured in writing everything what they said. Roads, drains, land title, those were the three main areas, and we delivered. We delivered to the people. When they go there now, they're going to keep meetings, and they're utilizing roads that we, the PPPC, went into Buxton and built. As I said, did they come to Sophia and keep any meeting? If they come to Sophia and keep any meeting because they're shame. They don't want to come here. They're shame. And I know they have some supporters in Sophia, but I hope the supporters are listening, because our message is a message of development. We are focused on bringing development to every community, everybody. And we don't look at race. Whether you're African Guyanese, whether you're Indian Guyanese, you're Amerindian Guyanese, you name it, mixed Guyanese. When we make a policy, it's a policy to uplift every Guyanese regardless of race. And you know what? I want to tell you this. When you go to vote, you vote for development. Don't let nobody drive any fear in you about this whole thing about you have to vote race. Vote for development. Vote for your future and your children's future. We have delivered over the last 5 years to you. You heard about it, right? The children in school now, next year, they will be getting not 200,000, 205. Yeah, that's the 45. It's 5 for uniform, 100 because we care, and another 100 because we care transportation. 205. The old age pension, when we took office, it was 21,500. We moved it 20,500. Yeah, we moved it to 41,000. And the president announced that it will go to at least $60,000. So if you 65 years in Guyana, whether you work or not, every month you will get $60,000. You may have pension from other areas, NIS or wherever you work, but that old age pension, the only qualification, 65,000. I'm 64. I'm looking forward to be 65. Very soon, very shortly. That's the only very soon, very shortly I will use. Comrades, you are voting on the 4th of September for a president and for a cabinet of ministers that are not only educated and experienced, we were all tried and tested over the last 5 years. And we perform. We perform. You're here with us because you know that we perform. We are ready for 5 more years of performance. We are ready to deliver 5 more years of development to the people of Guyana. You're not going to vote for no sanction, man. Because if you vote for sanction, man, the whole of Guyana becomes sanctioned. And they don't like, when I mention over river, don't vote for a fired man. Not a fireman, a fired man. Mr. Norton was fired 3 times that I know of. Mr. Desmond High fired Mr. Norton because he failed to perform. University of Guyana fired Mr. Norton because he failed to perform. And you know what? David Granger fired him because he failed to perform. So how you going to vote for a man who get fired 3 times for failing to perform? You will be voting for a president who from day one will fail to perform. That makes no sense. It means that you would have wasted your vote. They talk about a manifesto of putting people first. They had an opportunity 2015 to 2020 to put you first. Where did they put you? Where did they put you? Go back and check the manifesto. At another rally, I did use some inelegant words to mention that they disrespected all of us, that they humiliated all of us, because many Guyanese voted for them. And it's not the APNU alone, the APNU and the AFC put them in office. And what did they do? They looked after themselves. They didn't look after you. In the manifesto, they promised 20% increase for the public servants in the first 100 days. What did they do in the first 100 days? They raised the minister's salary by 50%. And they tried to justify it. And they forgot about the public servants. They removed the bonus. And many of you in Sophia here, either you or somebody in your household is a member of the discipline services. They removed the bonus that you used to benefit from. Because you know how we live? If somebody in your house gets a little extra money, everybody benefits. Right? So that bonus that used to come in the house that everybody used to benefit from at Christmas time, these guys without a conscience removed it. They took bread out of people's mouth. And now they come telling you that they're going to put people first. They're going to ensure you get a bonus, ensure you get, if you're earning $200,000 or less, you don't pay tax. But that is the same people in 2015 said that they will increase the income tax threshold by 100% over the 5 years, 2015-2020. When we got into office, they failed to do that. When we got into office, the income tax threshold was $65,000. So if you work in the public service or you work in the private sector and you are earning $65,000 or less, you wouldn't be paying tax. We promise you that we will increase it by 100%. Bear in mind, today is $130,000. $130,000 in the 2025 budget. We increase it by 100%. You heard about the taxes, a tax and spend economy. Every conceivable tax they could have raised in this country, they raised. Including you have to pay tax if you send your children to private school. Old people, right, had to pay tax. They had a subsidy on water and electricity. They removed the subsidy. If you go to a private hospital for treatment, you have to pay tax. And you know a minister had the temerity in the House of Assembly during one of their budget debates to say, if you could afford to find money to send your child to a private school, then you could find money to pay the tax. And we know the culture in Guyana. The poorest man in Guyana will try to find the last dollar to ensure his child get the best education, whether it means paying for a lesson, paying for an extra lesson, or a little private school around the corner. They tax that. They fail to understand what education meant for you. We understood. And today in Guyana, you can send your children to school, and every year, that child, starting next year, will get $205,000 transferred to your family. And just imagine, and we people we don't make one child. Some people make two, but some people got five by the time they catch yourself. So just imagine you got 5 children in school, primary school, nursery school, right? And the big boy or girl might be in secondary school. How much money you getting? $1,025,000 you will get next year for your 5 children. All because the PPPC government decide that you must share in the prosperity of Guyana. You will get better roads, better housing, better health facilities, better school facilities, and you must also get additional money in your pocket. And as you heard before, no new taxes. Our president already said that 2025, 2030, 40,000 house lots and houses, because he said he don't want to just give out house lots. He wants to focus on every Guyanese who needs a home must get a home. And every Guyanese whose home needs some upliftment must also benefit. So there's a facility that will be provided. Just like how we have the steel and cement, right, facility, there will be similar facilities to help more people to have their homes. In communities, it's not just roads. He's saying that we want us to now look at the drainage once and for all. So many drains in your communities will now be converted to concrete drains, right? We have the sports ground and we have the lights, but then we want additional street lights and we want additional recreational spaces will be developed, and Sophia will have several of those additional recreational spaces. Just imagine Sophia with more lights, more cameras, right? More sports facilities at your sports ground, which already got lights, more recreational spaces. I will come in and live in Sophia. I will come right now and live in Sophia, because I know what Sophia will be transformed to over the next 5 years. So you who are already living in Sophia, hold on to your house lot. Hold on to your property, because the value will go up. You notice we building out roads and highways. I live in Diamond, right? But the same thing has happened in Sophia. Because of that new road in front of your home, the value of your property went up. You may not know, but if you go and try to revalue it, or go to the insurance company, after they come and inspect, they may tell you you have to pay more because your value of your property went up. And that is what we're all about in government, the PPPC government, uplifting people, economic empowerment, increasing the value of your property, and women and youths will have special focus 2025, 2030. The president will be establishing an interest-free bank. And with that interest-free bank, we'll go beyond what is happening now where you can get a grant, right? Or you can get a small loan, right? It's going to be an interest-free loan. You want to establish a business, you already have a business, you want to expand and improve on it, the facility is there, because we want to empower our youths, we want to empower our women. We heard that we have women contractors, and there will be more women contractors. We have some youths who are for-sale contractors, and there will be more youths who will be for-sale contractors. Comrades, Guyana is growing. Guyana is going to continue to grow. And Guyana needs all hands on deck, so to speak. We have to have an educated workforce. So when we have a University of Guyana that will be expanding in the amount of courses, and by the way, the university is free, right? We have the Gold Scholarship. We started with 20,000, it's now 39,000. And we have more places will come on stream again next year. Gold Scholarship is going to remain there. You can do your certificates. You can do your degrees for second degree, your doctorate. If you didn't finish high school, you could go right there and you could do your courses free of charge, finish your high school, build on that. We have practical instruction centers that will be established in many communities, including here in Sophia. We have the Board of Industrial Training because we have to have an educated workforce, a skilled workforce in Guyana. We have hotels that are opening. Almost every 3 months, we're going to have a new hotel open in this country over the next year. Today, we open one at Tamari, and they already employ over 200 people there. Young people, young like you, out of the school system. Some may have worked other places. They pulled them together. They did the orientation training, and they're working today. We have the hospitals. Every hospital that opens will need at least 200 employees. You're talking about doctors, you're talking about nurses, you're talking about allied health workers, people who may have to work the labs, right? And work all the administrative functions in a hospital. Just imagine, you have hotels opening, you have hospitals opening, right? You have more FPSOs, right? And the gas and oil production per day is increasing. By 2030, it's likely to be over 1.3 million barrels of oil per day. And you have more businesses coming to invest in Guyana. Every business that comes to invest in Guyana will need Guyanese to work, because we have a local content legislation that dictates that they must employ Guyanese. And in order for them to employ a foreigner, they have to show that that skill is not resident in Guyana. That's the only way they could employ a foreigner. And then they're given a period of time by which you have to train the Guyanese to do the similar job. That is what has happened in Guyana over the last 5 years. So your future is secure, but you as a people, especially your youths, you have to grab at all the opportunities that is presented by the Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali presidency, by his government. A government that will be in office for the next 5 years, 2025, 2030, with your vote, bringing development to Guyana. Development at a higher level. We've covered a lot of ground. We've achieved a lot. We made promises. We deliver on those promises. We have a manifesto aptly named Forward Together for a Better Guyana. And we will be implementing all the programs listed in that manifesto. It's online. Almost everybody got a smartphone. Go online, download the manifesto, read it in your own time. Understand what will be happening in Guyana for the next 5 years. Because it's 5 years of development with your involvement, starting with your vote. So on the 4th of September, wake up early, as I said before board week. Wake up before board week and ensure the other voters in your home wake up too. And be of your best behavior. Somebody said, if you be of our best behavior, we'll have a good Christmas. Be of your best behavior. Go down to the polling place. Continue to be of your best behavior. And when your turn come, put your X where? Next to the cup. And remember, on the paper is two X's. At the top, X next to the cup. And ensure you put the same X at the bottom next to the cup. Because you're going to be voting for all of us here to ensure that all of us and all of you, we can work together in a collective manner to lift Guyana to higher heights. Thank you for your vote on the 4th of September. Early in the morning by midday, we don't vote. We don't vote by midday. Thank you very much. Up, 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 up.